Welcome back, Formless Seekers. Today, we journey back to the root of the word itself, Philo Sophia, the love of wisdom. We often think of philosophy as dusty books and academic theories, right? But in its rawest form, it was a fire. It was a dangerous act of love. We are going to explore the very lineage of the truth tellers. We will walk with Socrates to his cell. We will sit in the dusty attic of Baruch Spinoza. We will sit under the Bodhi tree with the Buddha. And we will stand at the foot of the cross. We will see how the path of the truth teller often faces the wall of the world's conscious ignorance. Different times, different methods, but one common fate: rejection by the sleeping world. And beneath their stories, we will find the one thread that connects them all, the silent voice that guided them, the true formless nature within. The natural examiner, Socrates. It began with a man who claimed to know nothing. Socrates was not a professor. He was a stonecutter, a soldier, a citizen of Athens who walked the markets in bare feet. He possessed a natural, self-examining state of mind. He often spoke of his daimon, a divine internal sign, a voice that stopped him from making mistakes. This was his connection to consciousness. While everyone else was rushing to prove how much they knew, Socrates stopped to ask, what does it mean? But this natural state was dangerous. By admitting, I know that I know nothing, he exposed the fake wisdom of the politicians and the poets. He held up a mirror to society, and society, when forced to look at its own ignorance, does not smile. In fact, it gets angry, it gets bothered, it gets ignorant. The ignorance he endured was a weapon. In 399 BC, he was put on trial. His real crime was that he made the blind uncomfortable. He refused exile. He drank the hemlock poison willingly, dying as he lived, in control of his own spirit, listening only to that inner guide, the unconscious. Now, we're gonna move forward in time, but the story remains the same. We find Baruch Spinoza in the 1600s, a quiet man, a lens grinder by trade. Socrates questioned the mind, but Spinoza questioned the nature of God. At a time when religion saw God as a king on a throne, a judge who punishes and rewards, Spinoza looked through his lens and saw something else. He saw unity. He famously said, Deus sive natura, meaning God or nature. He taught that God is not outside of us, pulling strings. God is existence. God is the substance of all things. He was not killed by the sword, but he faced a death of silence. At age 23, he was issued the cherem, the highest writ of excommunication. He was erased from his world because he dared to remove the superstition from the divine. He taught the intellectual love of God, not a love of fear, but a love of understanding. Like Socrates, he accepted his fate with absolute peace, grinding his lens and writing truths that would change the world, even as the world turned its back on him. This is the nature of ignorance. Now we shift our gaze to the east. Before the hemlock and the banishment, there was the prince who left the palace, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. Socrates used logic, Spinoza used reason, the Buddha used discerning insight. His part in history was to contest the needs of his time, as every other philosopher, a time of rigid caste systems and extreme ritual. He saw that neither indulgence nor self torture led to the truth. Through deep meditation, he cultivated discerning insight to see the house builder, the ego. Today, the preference of the mind leads people to bow to golden statues, seeking luck. But the truth of the Buddha was not in the statue, it was in the seeing. He taught that we must look at reality with a razor sharp focus. His death was the death of the ego, long before his physical body died. He offered the tool of liberation, but the world often prefers to worship the messenger rather than do the actual work. This is where ignorance, yet again, has shown its presence. Finally, we will arrive at the heart, the Christ. Like Socrates, he was perceived as a threat. Like Spinoza, he saw the oneness of the Father and the Son. Like Buddha, he offered a way out of suffering. But Christ brought the fire of compassion. The world looks back and sees the Son of God, the Savior. But again, the mind creates a separation. The mind loves the specialness of the resurrection. It obsesses over the miracle and the misses in the message. The true resurrection was not just about a body leaving a tomb. It was about the survival of compassion and love in a world that tried to crush it. Mysticism allows us to see this broader expansion. These four figures were four different medicines for the human condition. Socrates cured arrogance with questioning. Spinoza cured superstition with unity. Buddha cured ignorance with insight. Christ cured hardness with love. Here is the ultimate truth. Seekers, who guided them? Who told Socrates to question? Who showed Spinoza the unity? Who opened the Buddha's eye? Who filled the heart of Christ? It was not a distant figure. It was not a voice from the clouds. It was their own formless nature. It was the power of the unconscious mind, otherwise part of consciousness. This is not a separate entity. It is the vast ocean of intelligence that lives beneath the tiny island of your ego. It is the source that speaks when the chatter of the world goes quiet. It's your true self. We must not fall into the trap of the preference of the mind. The mind wants to categorize them. The philosopher, the heretic, the monk, the savior. It separates them to keep them safe. to keep them distant from you. But when you tap into your own formless nature, you see them as a unified force against conscious ignorance. You realize that the same source that flowed through them is flowing through you right now. Do not just study Socrates. Do not just read Spinoza. Do not just bow to Buddha. Do not just wear the cross. Examine your mind. Unite with the substance of consciousness. Discern the nature of reality. Love without condition. This is how you honor the wise. But most importantly, this is how you realize the nature of truth. And in doing so, bringing clarity and the necessary awareness to the formless nature of you. This is your formless guide, signing off.